What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. The Chargers are having a good start to the year. They're 3-1, although they are coming off a pretty big letdown loss against the Giants. And I want to talk about them because they've got a major problem with the Oline right now. And 3 months ago, this looked like a strength of this team, but right now it's kind of in shambles. And I think as most Chargers fans know, Justin Herbert's been kind of running for his life. I think he's been pressured the last couple weeks on like 56% of his dropbacks or something like that. That's insane. That's an insane amount of pressure rate for a QB to have to deal with. And I think he's been sacked at least 10 times. I think it was like six sacks against Denver. And I know it was several against the Giants. And, you know, those two teams have nasty D-lines. So we're going to talk about kind of the upcoming schedule. But the offensive line that the Chargers have has got to be better. I should not see Jamari Salyer getting literally thrown into my quarterback. I should not see Trey Pipkins not even touching somebody as they go around the edge. There's just some things that just simply cannot happen. I should not see Bradley Bozeman just turn his head and let the dude come right down the middle and kill Herbert. Like, you had, I think it was Dexter Lawrence, I think it was Dex, was unblocked, right? And he was so surprised at how unblocked he was. He was looking for a puller. He was like, wait, somebody's coming to hit me that I don't see coming right now. No, he was just flat out unblocked. That's disastrous to have somebody the skill of Dexter Lawrence unblocked going after your quarterback. So I just want to kind of point those two things out. But the main problems on this O-line, obviously Joe Alt injured. He's probably going to miss at least a couple games. It doesn't seem like they're going to put him on IR as of right now. But, you know, that being said, who knows? It looks like at least a couple games with a high ankle sprain. So they're going to have somebody filling at left tackle. Like, Deculus was horrible over there as like the backup for that. That's a disaster. I think, personally, they should move Jamari Salyer over to left tackle. We saw him do it for a long time in 2022 after Slater got hurt with the triceps injury. And he did a solid job in pass pro. He wasn't the greatest in run blocking, but he was good in pass pro. Now, they can do this, in my opinion, because Mekhi Becton should be back this week. From what typically he had a concussion. Usually that's a week, 7 to 10 day kind of injury, and he missed the last week or so. So I think Becton's going to be back, which will help the right guard slot. But I think Salyer should be the one to move to left tackle because we know he's done it before. And he's been at least adequate at it before. Deculus, brother. Please no. Please no. So I think that would help shore up that. The biggest problem, though, on this O-line, and it was kind of almost the same thing last year. And probably actually, it was the same thing last year. Bradley Bozeman, my brother in Christ, you are ranked 46 out of 46 centers. There's only, I think, 32 teams in the league. There are 14 backups that are better at center than you. That is ridiculous. I would live with it if he's 30th out of 46 or something. You know, it is what it is. But you cannot be dead freaking last at your position and maintain your role. I don't give a shit what kind of relationship you have with anybody. You're just flat out not good at the game of football. That's how I look at it. If you're not performing, you're not playing. That's how I would do this. I think the Chargers and Harbaugh and Ortiz and Roman, these guys 100% should give Andre James just a chance in game and just see what happens. Maybe you go series and like one series he's in, one series Bozeman's in, and kind of just alternate them a little bit. Maybe you try that, or maybe you go one quarter him, one quarter him. Whatever you do, give the other guy a shot at this because, quite honestly, he's just got to be better than the worst one in the league in order to make an improvement. So why would we not be doing that? Why would we not be doing that? That doesn't make any sense to me to not at least give this guy a shot at it because, granted, we know he's not a world breaker. We know he's not a top 10 center or a top 20 center. But like, if he could be 30th, that's a large improvement for this offensive line. So they should 100% be trying different things with their own line right now, moving guys around. I think Zion Johnson, granted, he's kind of been the reason for a couple of injuries on this over the past few years, but regardless, he's been moderately okay, I would say. Becton was good before he got hurt. I think Pipkins, besides the last game, I think Pipkins has been manageable at the position to where, like, I don't like scream every time he's blocking like I did with Storm Norton those years ago. So I think you're okay on the right side. Becton and Pipkins, serviceable, because I think Becton's really good. Left side is a disaster right now. And your center is a disaster. So you've got 60% of your line you cannot trust, and probably closer to 80% with Pipkins. So you've got 4 out of 5 guys on that line where Herbert's got to think, I could get killed from here, 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 and here. I've only got one running back here to help me block most plays, right? Like, I've only got so many chips that I can do and so many protections and everything that I can do before it's just flat out that guy's better than the guy across from him and is getting smoked. That's the dilemma that they're having. And I think ultimately too, they need Ladd to get back to what he was as a rookie, because I think it's still there. I think he's had a couple down weeks, but they need somebody that's going to help on the quick game, because Quentin Johnston's been really good in the deep and intermediate game. I think Keenan Allen's been that 3rd and 7, like just that go-to guy. But somebody's got to be the quick drag route, the quick play for them that can make something miss. And I think it's going to open up things. I think they definitely need to lean into Amarian Hampton a lot more, because he's been phenomenal the last 2 weeks. And the one way to keep somebody from pressuring your quarterback is to have a steady run game. So Roman, you need to be smart here and not drop back Justin Herbert 45 times or 80% of the plays, have him be a passer. That's not what you want to do in this. If you want to calm things down up front, you need to gash the other team. And Hampton has proven he can do that over the last couple of weeks against a team like the Broncos, which have a pretty damn good defense, and then a team like the Giants, which have a very good front seven. So use your run game. Try to stall things out. Screen passes, things like that will help, of course. But ultimately, the 5 guys up front just got to be better than the guys that are standing across from them majority of the game. You should have it to where your left tackle gets beat a couple times. I'm not saying he's got to pitch shutouts like Lane Johnson, but like a couple times, not half the time. Okay, not 23 times. That's the stuff they've got to control. It's a coaching thing. It's just a wanting to maybe change things up at your center position, because that is the biggest need this team needs to figure out. Like that, you need to get it done. So my personal solution would be Salyer at left tackle. At least give it a shot. See if he can recoup what he was in 2022 there. You leave Zion at left guard. Just leave him where he's at. Give Andre James a shot in-game in center. You can only tell so much in practice. They're not going that hard in practice. In-game, see what happens, because your worst case scenario is he's worse than the worst one. Whip-de-freaking-do. We already sucked there anyway. Best case scenario, he's better. Cool. Mekhi Becton at right guard and Pipkins right tackle. And then you use Hampton as chips, tight ends as chips, help these guys on the edge. And, I think they have the makings to be serviceable. But this week they get the Commanders. And the Commanders, I don't know what they rank at the D-line right now, but they're with Dan Quinn, they're going to be bringing pressure. It's coming. They're going to bring pressure. They're going to bring it freaking all game long. That is exactly what's going to happen. And the weeks after that, because I'm assuming that Joe Alt's missing at least 2 games, you're going to be playing. Let me take a peek at the schedule here. You get Miami, who's a disaster on defense, so that's a survivable game. You get the Colts, who have a underwhelming pass rush, but overall they've got some talent on their defense. And then after that, you get Minnesota. And Minnesota with Brian Flores is going to be all systems firing. They're going to be blitzing at least half the game. I would be shocked if there was anything less than that. So ultimately, you really need Alt back, hopefully by the Colts game, but at worst by the Vikings game. Because I think they have enough talent to beat the Commanders. They have enough talent to beat the Dolphins. And the Colts have been a surprise this year. So ultimately, still a really good team. Still have a lot of good things. They just got to shore some things up, maybe simplify some things. Move one guy out of the fucking lineup and move one guy to a different spot. That's just my personal 2 cents. What do you think the Chargers should do at their O-line position? I didn't mention any trades. I didn't mention free agent acquisitions, because they haven't really been a team over the last year and a half with Ortiz of being that team that's trying to make trades like that. In season particularly, there's no history of it, so I'm not going to bank on them doing that. I'm going to act like this is what we got to work with, and let's hope this puzzle can put itself together. So anyway, let me know what you think, what you want to do. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like this kind of content. Please like the video. I appreciate you for watching. But the Chargers O-line, please, dear God, keep the quarterback upright. Just play 20% better than what you have the last couple weeks, and they're going to be in just fine shape. So that's all I got. I'm done. Peace.